let's get into unit frames. For this part of the video, I joined up into a battleground to do what the rest of the Alliance seems to do all the time, and that is just sit in one place and do nothing. But this way I can show y'all what the unit frames look like. This right here is the raid unit frames. This is Alterac Valley. Oh, there's 40 people in here. I do not like the way that this sets up. It takes up a ton of the screen. So we're going to kind of move some of that stuff around. So we come into here. We're going to toggle our anchors, and we're going to move our raid frames. Let's move them up here. Okay, so now everybody's over there. We'll get into the other ones here soon. This battleground popped a little sooner than I thought it would, so we're going to go ahead and start on those. If you toggle your anchors, you can see that they're labeled. You've got a raid 625, which is going to be for your 10-man raids, and you have a raid 2640, which is going to be for anything over that. Go ahead and stack them both on top of each other, because you're not going to have both of them up at the same time, and you're always going to want your raid frames pretty much, or at least I do, in the same spot. Now, once again, me personally, I don't use the ElvUI or the ElvUI raid frames. I use Voodoo, but I'm going through this for you guys. So as you can see here, I've got the raid frames over here. And that's going to be under the raid 2640 because this is a 40-man raid. Now I can change the width of the individual raid frames. I can make them smaller, make them bigger. I can disable them completely. Don't worry about this part right here. I believe that is part of my Deadly Boss mods. But I can change the group point, you know, left, right, top, bottom. Just all depends on where the first person in the group is going to be. Left, I would use if you're putting your raid frames on the left side of the screen. Right, if you're putting them on the right side of the screen. You can change your max number of columns. You can change the units per column. So if you only want to have 2, or let's say we'll say 5 there. Okay, so that means that they're going to be 5 units across. We're going to take our width and we'll drop them down so that it makes it where it's not taking up quite as much screen space. Still want to be able to see names. You can see, you know, it's still showing people's health going down and things like that. You can if you uncheck display player, it will take you out of the raid. Let's see, where am I in here? Let's move this away from those other frames. Close recount. There's not really a safe spot on my screen to put them yet because I haven't got everything where I want it. But you know, it's just your generic raid frames. You can target them by clicking them. You can right click and whisper, you know, report away or kick from group or whatever else you have in a party. But this is how you set those up. Several different options here that you can do. You can move the offset. All kinds of different things. You can do the same thing in your raid 625 frames, which are your 10-man raid frames, and party frames as well. You can set those up too. For the most part, I think that's pretty much it. Like I said, you just drag them, put them where you want them. Also, I forgot to mention this earlier, it has an annoying ability to make it to where you can only put things in certain spots, but if you uncheck sticky frames, you can get them right in there where you want them. So that puts them nice all the way up in the top corner of my screen. And that is the raid frames. You can also have drop downs here where you can change things on the raid frames, like the health. You can make it to where it shows the deficit, or it shows current, max, percentages, different things. If you go to percent, you'll see that now it shows the percent of health. See, like Darkblade X here is at 93%. You can disable the text, so where you just see the names. Frequent updates. It uses more memory, but it says it's only recommended for healing, but if you don't have frame rate issues or anything like that, you can leave this up. Basically, it just makes it more accurate. The orientation, you can go horizontal, and it'll change things to where it goes from right being full to left instead of up being full and down. I prefer it horizontal myself. You can go to, let's go back to power. You can enable, and then as you'll see, you can see mana bars, energy bars, rage bars, things like that on your raid frames. Text toggle on NPC, and just go through here and read these. There's a few different things you can do. You can enable text on the power bars as well. The names, you can adjust their names. You can say you want to put them in the centers, not on the top, so that drops them down like that, so they're nice and in the middle. The length, you can go short, you can go long, medium. You can include their level, all kinds of different features that you can change in here. Buffs, you can enable buffs on them so that it shows, as you can see it here, it completely obliterates the entire frame. You can change the sizes, you can change the amount, you can change the anchor points, where to attach them, everything else. I really don't see that it's great to use in your regular raid frames. You can track debuffs as well, as you can see. This person's got Earth Shock on him. He's got Temporal Displacement, Forbearance, Weakened Soul from Priest. We'll disable that. Buff indicators. Okay, it just changes the colors of icons and things like that. And you can change the size on those as well. And looky there, we won that one, and I didn't do anything. Unfortunately, it wasn't long enough. You can also put roll icons on them to where it'll show their tank, heals, DPS. And raid debuff indicators will show if they have a raid-wide debuff. So that's your raid frame. So now that I kind of went over those, let's go up here and we'll talk about, let's go to the general part of this. You're going to want to have Blizzard raid frames disabled. Just because, you know, the raid frames that are built in with ElvUI match everything else, makes it look nice and neat. You can change the out of range alpha. This is going to show how much they fade whenever someone is out of range. Debuff highlighting will color the entire health bar. If there's a debuff that can be dispelled by you. If you're a priest and someone has a magic debuff on them that you can dispel, it will change their color to let you know that you can dispel that. Smart Raid Filter, override any custom visibility settings. like showing, groups 1 and 2 inside of a 10-man instance. You may as well just leave that on. I do. Back whenever I actually used to use their unit frames. Smooth bars means that they'll transition smoothly. I like this. Keeps everything flowing nice and neat. You can change the status bar textures. Once again, it's got all these different textures that you can use. A lot of these are from Voodoo. But ElvUI also comes with a few with itself. You can change the fonts on your RAID frames, the font size, the outline. You can change the health and everything. You can color code the health by class. You can do class powers as well, to where just their power bar showed up by their class color. You can do a class black backdrop. You can do a custom health background, health by value, class names, all different kinds of options in here. And then down here you can change all the colors and everything. Let's get into the player frame, which is going to be over here. This is me. Now in here you can copy this from another frame if you've already got it set. Or you can restore the defaults just on your frames without resetting the entire UI. We're going to change the width a little bit. We're going to shrink that down some. That's awfully big. The height is okay. Low mana threshold, it'll start, the text will start flashing on it if you fall below a certain percentage of mana or whatever your power is, whether it be focus or rage or whatever. Combat fade is awesome. I use this on mine because I like to keep as little stuff on the screen as possible. If you click that, combat fade, your unit bars or your unit frames will automatically pop up when you go into combat or whenever you mouse over them. And I like that because whenever I'm, flying around the city, running around, doing professions or whatever, I don't need to see what my health is. Excuse me. Heal predictor will show a little extra whenever you have an incoming heal. Kind of give you a basis to judge off of what kind of heals you have incoming your way. The rest icon, if I were to fly over here into Stormwind, you can now see that I have this little rest icon up here. I personally turn it off. I know if I'm in a city, I'm gaining rested XP, and this tune is 85, so I really don't care about rested XP anyway. Now down here, this is where you can change all kinds of different things. You can change the text format for your health. You can make it blank to where it takes the health text off. You can do a deficit where it'll only show up how much health you lost if you lose health. Show a percentage, and so as you see, it shows that I'm 100% health. And you can do current and percent, current and max. You can also change the position. You can put it on the bottom. You can move stuff around. You can put it on the bottom left. And this is all just on the health frame itself, which is this bar right here. You can hit your drop down menu, go to your power, and you can also change that as well, so we can drop that down to where it's in the bottom right corner so that they're nice and even. Text toggle on NPC, which means that the power text will be hidden on NPC targets. The width, you can change the height. And there's one thing that I've noticed a lot on the forums of everybody wants to know how to do, and that's how to move this power bar. And you do that right here with your offset. So you can take that and you can set it. You can change your offset to where it kind of puts it back behind it a little bit. Kind of gives it a unique look. I've seen a lot of people asking how to do that, and this is where you do it. You can also turn off the text of your power bars if you want. And let's see what's next. Alternate power, like say for a druid, if I was to switch into kitty form, this is where I could change the stuff for my energy. My name, I can enable my name. That's where it puts it up here. I don't need to know what my name is. I think I've pretty much got at least that much down now. But you can change the position and everything on that as well. Portrait. You can enable your picture, so it'll show you off over here. It's a cool little moving animation. But there's another thing that I've noticed that a lot of people ask about how to do, and I like doing it myself, and that's the overlay. And that takes your picture and puts it to where it covers up your entire health bar, but you can still see your health go down and up and everything like that. But it gives it a cool little animation there, and I like to see that myself. You can do the camera distance scale. It's where you can zoom it in or zoom it out. It's where you can try to get more of your character in. Let's see if I can get back over here, and I will switch to my normal caster form so you can see what that looks like. Switching to caster form, see, you can see my character there. He moves around and everything else. You can change your scale now here. You can zoom in on your head or whatever you want to do. You can set it how you want. That looks good. Alright, buffs. You can enable and disable buffs on your character, whether or not they show up. Let's see if I can. Here we go. Mark of the Wild. It's not showing up, so apparently it's not that kind of buff. There are different things in here that will show up. I think. There we go. There's your buffs there. As you can see, it's got icons that are popping up back behind these. I don't like those, so I turn them off. That's what this is. It shows the little icons back there. I don't like seeing those. The cast bars and timer bars are good enough for me. Debuffs are the same way. You can set all different things in here. You can set just like you can on your buffs. Your cast bar. You can change the width and everything of your cast bar. Let's see. Find something I can cast on myself. There you go. Go to Trank. See, it's there. You can change the width. You can change the height of it. You can pick whether you see the icon or not. I don't need to see the icons because it's going to tell you what it is in there. And as you can see, it's got all the things that are popping up. Pretty nifty stuff. The class bar, you can enable and disable. Change the height and everything on that. All this stuff really customizable for your unit frame, for your player frame. The target frame has pretty much all the same options that your player frame does. You can go in, say go into your portrait. You can enable that with the overlay, so that whenever you target yourself, Once again, you'll see your target here. Say if I target little Deathwing here, you can see his little picture floating around in there. Or I can just take this and I can copy it from my player frame and it automatically matches. It's a good way to get everything to look even on both sides of your UI. Make it look proportionate and symmetrical. Your target of target frame, there are some things in here for that, which I'm trying to find right now. Let's toggle anchors. Target of target is here. I'll lock that. Click myself again. There you go. Now you can see that who I'm targeting and who that person is targeting as well. Notice you don't have the portrait options on those. You only have portrait options on yourself and your target. Focus frames, another important one. If I was to /focus, now it's got my focus bar up here, and I can take that, I can copy it from my player as well, and as you see, it takes the power bar and distributes it all the way around. It's good to have right in the center. Kind of make it nice and symmetrical, and I'll show you how all this looks whenever I get everything put where it's supposed to go. And you have all of the options on that as well. You can do your focus target frame, which will be your target of your focus. You can do, and it has all of these as well. You can copy them all from the same thing, so that you only have to change one frame. Your arena frames, if you remember earlier, they're all over here. If you run arenas, this is where you'll set those up. Once again, they have the drop-down menus and the different customization options as well. Boss frames, you toggle, you can see, let's see if I can find the boss frames. They're normally, yeah, they are hidden behind the arena frames. So by default, they will be over here on this side. So if you're fighting a boss, and you don't, even if you don't have him targeted, that boss's frame will show up here. There's also a couple of more back in here for, say, the Skittle fight. It'll show the health pool of each Skittle and Dragon Soul. Your assist frames, your party frames, all of these have a lot of customizations that you can go through and make them the way that you want it, the way you want your UI to look. Everything is customizable. Set it up how you want it. And that's pretty much all it is for unit frames. Oh, tank frames. When you're in a raid, this tank frames will take all of your tanks and put them in a separate frame as well as in your main raid frames. I don't like that. I disable the tank frames. As you can see, here's your tank frame right here. It will show another unit frame for your tanks. I think it's double information. It's another thing that I've got sitting in my screen that I don't like. And the same with the assist frame. No, I am making a video right now. Okay. Filters. You can filter different buff indicators, raid buffs, things like that through here. And that's your unit frames. Profiles. This is an awesome feature. You can set up your profile on one tune, and you can copy it to another tune. You can also enable dual profiles so that you can have a different profile set up for different specs, or if you are dual spec'd. It's like on this tune, I am main spec heels, off spec ferrule, so I could set up a separate look for my ferrule spec, and whenever I switched it, the UI would automatically switch as well. Whenever you go and you log into another tune, that if you want to have the same setup that you have on one, all you have to do is come down here and copy from. You'll hit this. I haven't logged into another tune, so it's not working right now. As soon as I log into another tune, I'll be able to pick up my druids, and I can copy it from that tune, and it'll set up everything the way that I had it set up on here, and then I can just make any tweaks and adjustments I need to. You can also delete profiles here, and you can also completely reset your profile to take it back to out of the box the way it would look. In credits, the guys over at ElvUI and ElvUI have made awesome add-ons. I'd like to thank all of these guys that have worked on it. They have done an awesome job. Excuse me. And I hope that they continue working on this. Now I'm going to go through, here in just a second, I'm going to go through, I'm going to actually set up my UI the way I want it, and you can sit and watch me go through and move everything around and set it up.